this done.
Yeah,
Rick's
let's
gone.
just get it over with. And that's our show, everybody.
Oh, damn.
He's
came
getting
back.
the nuts.
Yeah, you said Michael Amel.
He's getting the
I guess I ate too
salty
much.
nuts.
You were doing handfuls.
Why no?
Oh, that was actually a good call.
What?
These right here.
They're good.
Yeah.
Well, he picked them up, and I meant to give
You're making a mess.
I know, I've already spilled. I grabbed one little scoop with my hand and already spilled it.
Just like you do your drink.
Just like a drink. Well, but hopefully my computer's on the side now, so hopefully that'll... Whatever you
Don't talk with your hands.
Well, and hopefully you won't be like watching your computer the entire time.
I'll tell you, man. Send it a complaint to the complaint department.
I know. All right,
That
intro.
drink better be gone. by
Oh,
the
no,
end of
well,
this
I
episode,
told them to
'cause
put a
last time
smaller-
it wasn't.
Well, the ice melted.
And we had a horrible
The
episode.
ice is melting.
Yeah, it's
now.
already
Yeah,
melting.
I mean, well, maybe it's too hot in the house.
I mean, I'm comfortable if my opinion matters.
It's actually quite comfortable in here.
It's
Welcome
better
to
than it
another
was
episode
yesterday.
of Buddies, Blues, Banters, Unfiltered Conversations. I'm Rick.
I'm Michael.
I'm Alex.
Kara.
I'm eating nuts too.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
I don't get
Who
it.
blew out our candle?
You don't get it.
Nuts.
And no, I don't think anything blew. I don't think anybody blew it out.
Oh, you
I
think the fan?
The fan.
Oh, I was trying to make the room smell nice because,
Yeah.
you
It
know.
smelled really good when I walked in.
I'll have
It
to-
would have
well,
been better if you just taken a shower.
Oh,
you
I
didn't-
did.
You didn't shower today?
Oh, please. I smell pretty.
Oh God. Do we want to vote on
He didn't
this?
answer the question. I shower every morning without fail.
No,
Doesn't matter what
I
it is.
sometimes shower twice a day.
Sometimes twice a day.
I mean,
Well,
I just hate
Now, when
feeling
he-
you might
nasty.
start 3 times.
when
a
I
day.
saw him earlier today, I mean, his hair was like way up here.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he hasn't showered.
Yeah. There's 2 types of people in the world: people that pee in the shower and people that lie
Oh.
about it.
No, peeing in the shower is okay, especially if it's directly towards the drain.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw
don't
some-
they
I saw
say
a guy-
pee on your feet to kind of get rid of athlete's
Oh,
feet?
bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw.
You're not
I,
supposed to pee on a jellyfish.
That's
No, it's not
Sting.
true.
Yeah.
That
True.
is true.
That is not a true.
That's what they say. I've never been stung by a
that,
jellyfish.
that
It's
myth
true.
that myth has been debunked.
No,
Nor
it
did I
hasn't.
ever.
Wow.
It actually has.
No, it
actually
hasn't.
I don't think
100%.
Mythbusters.
No.
Google it.
so. I can't. My computer's off to the side.
Well, I'll Google it. Keep talking.
Well, I mean, it's not. It was on a Friends episode.
Then it must
Oh
be
yeah,
true.
because then it's of course. Well, no, even after the tail end, they said that's not true in the Friends
No,
episode.
they did not.
Absolutely, they did.
No, they didn't. She felt better after he peed on it. Because Joey's the one had to pee.
on it.
Okay, myth. That's how it starts. There is no truth to the myth that peeing on a jellyfish sting can make it feel better. Numerous studies have found that simply doesn't work. One of the possible reasons, though, that myth is out there became popular could be due to the fact that urine contains compounds like ammonia and urea.
Do you
whatever
think everything you see online is true?
Well, I mean, this is from Healthline. I mean, it's actually
It's
from
better, at least it's not on WebMD.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Wikipedia.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
here-
I think you've got a lot to share with us today, Rick.
Well,
right? See, look, he gets so excited so quick.
Yeah, I want this mic to go
See,
down.
all you have to
further.
do is say, "Tell
I
me
think
more,"
that's as
and he's
far
like,
as it
"Okay."
goes.
I know. I mean,
Well,
I
last
know.
time-
Are you trying to go up or down?
Down.
Well, I wanted down more, but I mean-
Oh,
down
that's as down as
it
if.
can
Yeah,
go.
keep
Yeah,
going
well,
down.
who bought this shit?
Is this how you do? You're in bed, you just start bitching.
Yes, I'm sure that's what happens.
He like gets right up to it, and he's like,
No, no,
"Can
no.
you just like put it closer?"
Well, first of all, that
Or
wouldn't be the case.
or say, no, it's not big enough. I can't get my mouth on it.
First, that wouldn't be the case. And second of all, it's just duct tape over them. Just duct tape their mouths. That's it. That's all we need. But yes, we have a tremendous amount to talk about. Here we haven't actually had
I can see a cutout in the duct tape.
Can't let it go.
an episode published in about a couple weeks, just
Shit, I
simply
spilled.
because we have not been real enthusiastic based upon just some of our topics. But we have just come off the DNC convention.
What
which
does
is really
DNC stand for?
the Democratic National Convention.
Okay.
And if anybody watched it, I mean, we've definitely watched all 4 nights of it.
Was
It
Carrot Top there, or was that a meme that I read?
Yeah,
I
then
saw?
Carrot Top was
Okay.
not there, yeah. But I will tell you that there was
Carrot Top?
Yeah, I thought I saw a thing on the internet that said like.
But
that
there was a
he spoke.
ton of celebrities there. There's no doubt. I mean, she and of course, you know, Republicans are knocking all the Democrats like, oh, they always got the elites and this and that. It's like, you have the billionaires. I mean, 60 billionaires have not only endorsed Trump, but he's also giving money to him. I mean, are they more elite than the actual Hollywood people?
So I have a legit question that you probably can answer for me. So
Yeah.
all the money that's raised, where does that actually go? Somebody asked me that question. I was dumbfounded.
Yeah,
Because
that's a good question.
Right, because to be the president only pays like $250,000 a year.
Oh, well, it pays actually $400,000,
Yeah, so not a lot.
almost $500,000.
Right.
But the 540
To run a country.
the 540 million.
But they don't have to. They don't have any expenses.
Yeah, and they live in the office.
Well, and they
Right,
don't
and
drive.
they don't drive.
right.
It's like
Well, they live
everything's
above
paid
the
for.
office.
Yeah.
It's like they're
like
not
in
paying
the old
to live.
days. I live above my
Elon
actual
Musk would
office.
live in the Oval Office.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
not
sleeping on the
paying
floor.
to live in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is basically their
Well,
salary.
there are some personal expenses that they're required to pay.
Right.
You know, I mean, if
Toilet
there's
paper?
Well, no. There are definitely
Probably
some.
dry cleaning.
You know, well,
No.
well, I don't know. Again, I can't tell you exactly what they're, but there are definitely some expenses that they're required to pay on their own personal. There's
Right.
no doubt about it.
so where
But
does
to your
all
point,
that millions
but-
go to raise?
And that's a good lead into what I wanted to talk about specifically about the Kamala Harris campaign. As you know, 35 days ago,
and Michael, Eiffel Tower me.
35 days ago, she became the nominee for the Democratic Party.
Right.
Since that day, she's raised over $540 million, which is records. You know,
That's a lot.
It really
That's
is.
super a lot.
Just during the 4 days of the DNC, they raised $82 million. Just during her speech, they raised $7.2 million. So, needless to say, there's a tremendous amount of enthusiasm when it comes to that type of stuff out there. 1/3 of the donations are actually first-time donators, which tells you that's a hell of a lot of people who are jumping on the bandwagon now.
Right.
But to your point, where does this go? First of all, the advertising dollars is tremendous amount of that chunk. And typically when you go into some of the swing states like Pennsylvania or Georgia or Michigan, Wisconsin, they're going to spend between 50 to $100 million in advertising. And they're going to actually try to, especially now because she's changing kind of the map, as you will say, not just only making some additional states in play again, but also inside the swing states, some of those districts that have been predominantly red, she's trying to turn blue. So needless to say, you're going to see pockets of a lot more money spent. In addition, there's about 2,000 offices that she has out there. And those are rents and some of her salary in there, a lot of volunteers, obviously. Print materials, the signage, things of that sort. Most of the items that they have to pay for the actual printed items, like the new khaki caps and the T-shirts and stuff like that. They do the markup, of course, because that considers a donation, too. So, I mean, that's majority of where that will go to. The bus tour. I mean, she's about to hit, from Atlanta to Savannah this coming week. And that's going to pay for the buses and the staff and, transportation, you name it. But on top of that, what's interesting for her as the sitting vice president, they have to really delineate between what is a campaign expense and what is actually a vice presidential campaign expense. And so I'm sure there's somebody who has those nuances and understands that better than me.
But the DNC has about like 100 small offices across these battleground states.
No, they have thousands.
Thousands?
Thousands of them. There's
Right.
currently 2,000 offices that were set up when Biden was still the nominee. I think they've actually increased that now, just simply because she's changed the map. So they're actually creating more of them, and especially since there's an overwhelming amount of volunteers that have actually stepped up, not just since 35 days ago, but just during the DNC.
Right.
20 additional thousand people have stepped up to volunteer. And that could be anything by making phone calls to writing letters to knocking on doors, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's just crazy when you see people that back out. I think because they're not raising enough money, they're freaking the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but money is, that's the whole thing about it. Most people don't realize, especially if you don't follow politics, Citizens United is a driving force that really the Supreme Court overturned, basically saying that any corporation can give anybody any dollar amount.
Right.
which is basically saying that, well, they're an entity, they're a person. Whereas we as individuals, I think it's like something like $4,500 that we can give to any candidate over the entire election period. But corporations, they're given millions and millions. I mean, you look at the current owner of the Dallas
Mavericks.
I mean, she's probably going to belly up and give another $100 million.
Oh my God, I literally forgot about you, John. I know you're talking about the new girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she is the number one supporter of Donald Trump.
Her ass needs to build a casino, stat, where the old Cowboy Stadium used to be.
That's what her game plan was when she bought.
And I'm sure that will happen. I mean, that's
They
obviously.
better hurry up, man.
And that's why that's why she's also supporting a lot of Republicans here in the state because Democrats are on board. They don't care. I mean, it's obviously the
Because
Republicans.
the money goes to supporting schools and all that other stuff.
Well, ideally, that's what's supposed to happen. Like the lottery.
Yeah.
How much of that money here in the state of Texas have gone to the schools from the lottery? Hardly anything, because Abbott has his own little slush fund over here that he sends it to.
Right.
I mean, so it's all about nuances and crap like that. So I mean, whatever. But did you want to talk about a little bit about the convention too?
I was going to ask you, what was your best part?
God, I mean, I got a list. I mean, I really do. I mean, there were just so many moments that were just like, did they just do that? Oh my God, I mean, obviously the roll call was a good 30, 45 minutes that, playing, songs from each of not only the territories, but the states, which of course, how I think. I'm just like, God, they had to get those actually approved by the actual individual artist or their states or whatever it may be. That in itself is ridiculously expensive.
Right.
And then of course the way they had the individual speakers coming in and all that. One thing that I will find very interesting, and it's going to be an ongoing argument, not just coming off the DNC, but going into the actual general election in November, is she hasn't necessarily turned her nose up against them and flipped them off, but the legacy media, she's basically backed off a little bit on. And they invited over 200 content creators on social media from all different ages, from all different political backgrounds, from different types of contexts. Not all of them were political.
Right.
And she did, I think about 4 or 5 individual interviews herself with content creators. Really the whole purpose behind that is because it's instantaneous. And they have this ability to just clip, and they're just constantly posting things. But it's also the demographic of the individuals that they're actually posting it to.
Yeah.
And that's the audience that she's trying to capture in regards to the new. I mean, you look at it, like coming into this election, there's like 8.1 new Gen Zs who can register and vote. I mean, how much did Biden win in 2020? By 8 million, 7 to 8 million people. So can you imagine if we just hold in that regards those numbers and add another 5 million on top of
Well,
it?
here's the good news. We're all going to be able to watch it here live at Michael's house. We're actually going to be selling parking. So if you get to the back and there's no more, just keep going around. Make sure you bring cash only. It's $20 cash only.
And we can also do, public transportation if you need to.
Yes, transportation.
Buses or whatever
you need. Yeah, we have a VIP. It's whatever. But, hey.
I mean,
we'll
if you
call
want, bring your
VIP.
swimsuit. You can go out and swim.
Yep.
We're
going to have a jumbo screen inflatable in the pool.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Oh, that'd be definitely fun.
I mean, for me the DNC was not boring at all.
It was a show.
I mean, it was definitely a show, and it's like I'm sure Trump was jealous of that because he kind of posted stuff every now and then.
Well, he was posting throughout the entire thing, and interesting enough, apparently he did watch the entire 4 days. Hence the reason why he was kind of like stuck down in Mar-a-Lago, besides during the daytime when he was playing golf.
But there were several speeches that were very good. I mean, Michelle Obama was unbelievable.
I will say that she was probably ultimately the best out of everybody. And we all know that Obama is a great orator. But from
have you read her book? Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
Not Michelle's. I have not. But I mean, there's just a way that she has the ability to deliver, especially coming from somebody who literally hates politics.
Right.
She cannot stand politics, and that's I was listening to the speechwriter when he was actually doing an interview over the weekend after the DNC, and talking about the nuances that between her and Obama particularly. But he was like, the reason I think she's so good is because she hates politics so much. She's coming from a different angle.
Michelle Obama.
Yeah, Michelle Obama.
Because my next dumb question was, Was she never interested in running for president?
Never.
No.
Okay.
Never. She's made that so many. See, that's the whole other bullshit that Democrats put out there. It's just like, oh, Michelle, run, Michelle. No. She's made it abundantly clear that not only she does not want to run, she hates politics, period. And she hated the entire 8 years that she. I mean,
What does she do?
what-
You know?
well,
No, like what does she do
First
now?
lady.
No. I mean, like, what does she do? Does
well,
she?
she just does speaking engagements.
Okay,
She
gotcha.
does her obviously book tour and things of that sort. She obviously is a lawyer, you know, so she wanted to get back into practice, and she could do that as well. But her family was demonized
Right.
during the entire 8 years. I mean, this whole birtherism shit that they brought up, and then of course Fox News brought it back up again. You know, as soon as they saw Obama on the damn stage, you know, it's just crazy stuff. So I don't blame her. You know, I mean, you really got to love politics.
Kara, would you want to be president?
No.
Fuck no, I wouldn't want to be president.
You know,
Would you want to be president?
no,
because
you know-
because then after you're president, they follow your ass into the bathroom for the rest of your life.
They do. You really don't have any privacy whatsoever. You're never able to drive again.
Right.
Which actually, I don't have a problem with that.
No, but there'd
Yeah,
be,
you're
there'd
not
be
a good
Secret
driver
Service
anyway.
like standing right here.
You know, but I always said, you know, when I was actually, you know, in high school, and I was always meant to be in politics, everybody said.
Did you at least take debate?
I did debate.
Yeah,
I
I
was
did-
very good at
I
it.
did
trust
debate.
me. Yeah, I did. I was actually on the contest speaking and debate and
Yeah.
public speaking, you know, and I was actually in the theater department, but I did a couple of acting things, but most of mine was the business side of things. I did house manager. I did
That
business
might be a
manager.
cool segment.
I did directing, you know, things of that sort. So, but the point what I was going to make
It's like cheese fries are not a breakfast food. Changed my mind. That could be a segment.
yeah, I mean, I always said that I would rather be a senator versus the president. You know, yeah.
Or a mayor
I'm just
Of
trying
a big
I'm
city.
just trying to imagine that.
of like Boston.
You know, but I also
New
said
York.
that the reason I will not be successful at it because I wouldn't last long because I'd get killed. Because I'm very strong in my opinions. I'm very, you know,
That's true.
I had no idea.
I'm very determined on how I think that she should be specifically if
Right.
I was sitting in a position of power to make an impact
Right.
on it. And I'm sure some kook out there would say "fuck you" and just shoot me off. You know?
Right.
I mean, it's so. You know, thankfully, I didn't do that in path. Although, who knows? Maybe you know, I get a hair at my ass here in the next 10 years and decide that I'm going to run for the House or the Senate or something like that. I mean, some of the people that we actually have in office right now should never be there. They have no experience, and they definitely have no fucking intelligence.
Yeah.
Let's be
It's your
honest.
qualifications.
Yeah.
But going back, I think one of the most touching moments for me for the DNC was when the VP candidate Walls was up there and he was talking
You
about
gotta see this.
He was talking about his kids, and he's got a daughter and he's got a son, and the son's a little autistic.
He's autistic, nonverbal autism, ADHD,
Right.
and anxiety disorder.
Okay.
But he was talking about how he loves his kids and
Well, he
and
said he
his
loves his
wife.
family.
Well, his family,
He
but
pointed
then
to his family right
the
nowadays.
family, but he also mentioned his daughter, his son, and his wife. He mentioned by names, and then the camera panned to him, and I mean the son was in tears and basically yelling, "That's my dad!" And I mean he was in tears.
I mean, he was up there pointing and standing up there, and it was extremely emotional. The sad thing about it is, and I knew this would happen, literally like hours after that was, maybe minutes, the extreme right were making fun of it, saying, "Oh, he's a whiny ass boy," you know, that's what his father trained, without even really looking up to why he was probably like that. You know, with the anxiety,
Right.
with the ADHD, and with the actual autism, and of course, like what was the one?
Ann Coulter.
Ann Coulter was the one out there, and you call us weird? And she literally had to actually not only remove it, but apologize.
She
And
did apologize.
She did. She did.
Okay, I never
Now-
saw the apology.
As far as I'm concerned, that was very thinly veiled apology because yes, she apologized saying if I had known, but then she jumped straight on the other wagon side of it and said, well, Democrats are always calling us names and this. I was like, so you thought because they were doing it supposedly, which they don't, it was okay for you to do that against a 17-year-old kid, not even an adult. How many years did we go through and said, Barron Trump is off limits, don't touch him, and guess what? Nobody touched him. Now, obviously, 18 years old, and now he's obviously tweeting all this crap out, and he's actually, doing all this Gen Z stuff with his best friend, and actually, he is one of the actual advisors to his daddy. On the social media side of things, so it's kind of interesting how that happens.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it,
That's Rick.
It's
Sorry,
it's
that's not
such
the one.
a-
I
it
meant
was
to
such
do
an
this. Sorry, hold on.
unplanned-
I didn't land this one. I meant to do. I have a dream for Rick.
Whoa. That's a very good point that I want to talk about here in a second. Michael, finish your point real quick.
Damn. No, I was going to
And
say
that's our
if you've
show.
not seen it, just look at it because it was such a touching moment that
Right.
wasn't planned and all this other stuff is. And I mean, it brought tears to your eyes. And it's like you've heard so many people talk about it since or whatever.
Well, the funny thing about it is, I read today, it came out where he was doing an interview, Trump, and he's saying, I'm obviously a very good speaker.
Right.
And I've actually been compared to Martin Luther King. I've had black people come up to me and tell me that they're in tears every time they hear me talk, and they're so happy to hear me talk, and that I've really impressed them. Are you fucking kidding me? You are nowhere near the oratorial ability that Martin Luther King had. First of all, you're bambling and bubbling and talking crap, not even having coherent sentences, jumping from one subject to the next and making up lies and stuff like that. How the hell do you think people think you are? I mean, it's just.
But you're falling right into his trap.
No. I mean, I'm not. I don't actually. I just read it. I'm just like, what the fuck?
No, but you're talking about it on here on this.
Well,
on
I mean, I
here,
think
and it's just like you just fall in his trap.
Well, I'm hoping that we can educate people to say that your guy's stupid.
I mean, number one is, politicians lie, they change their story and all that stuff. That's just a given or whatever. Trump takes it 10 times higher and
definitely to
better
the
than
next
anybody
level.
else or whatever. But what he's done for so long is he says all these lies and all this other stuff and then people spend the next 2 or 3 days talking about it, and then the next minute so nobody else gets any oxygen, and then the next thing he says something else and they're back on it. It's the one thing I see with the Harris campaign is they're not wasting their time on what Trump has to say.
Right.
They're doing their own thing, and it's like Trump will do this stuff, but they just basically
Oh my
ignore
gosh!
it.
Wait, hold on! I just got an email. I just got an email to me. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Team, this much was clear from the Democratic National Convention. We are a campaign of progress. This is I just got this email. Did you get this email? Probably not. Oops. Sorry. Did you get this email? You did not. Yep. It says, and we are living through a moment in our country's history that requires us to fight for our values, especially in the face of Trump's lies, division, and hatred.
Who's this coming from?
It's coming from Team Harris Welts.
Yeah.
And they're asking me if I want to donate money.
Yeah, I probably get 2 of those an hour.
I get at least 10 a day.
Wait, you're saying you
and-
get the same email that I get?
Well, I don't know if I got that exact one, but I'm
Dude,
sure I've got
no,
You're
it.
not
no.
special.
No. Okay, it's
Dude,
what?
dude,
It says my name.
Literally,
It says team.
Obama was on stage speaking, and I got a text message that said he was from Obama.
Meanwhile, the DNC delegates from all 50 states danced and celebrated while casting their votes to elect Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I mean, you got to
Yeah.
see some of the outtakes.
Time is
Now,
running out. It says right here.
The other one that part of the speech was Obama's, where he says that Trump has this weird obsessions with size crowds, and he did this illusion of kind of a dick size. And again, the guy who wrote the speech said,
Right.
he took it out of the speech, meaning the speechwriter did. Obama kept putting back in. He kept taking it out. And at the final one, Obama put it back in. He goes, so we just left it. He goes, well, what I never expected him to do was the visual name. He goes, that is so out of the norm for Obama.
That's funny.
I mean, it was absolutely classic. And he's always had this obsession. He has small hands, small feet, and small dick. I mean,
Obama?
No, about Trump.
Oh, about Trump.
I mean, Marco Rubio, when they were running against each other in 2016, made fun of that. Said, "Oh, he messed. What they say about people with small hands."
Right.
And of course, he obviously get up on there and does a speech and say, I've never had any complaints. Yada yada yada.
I don't know. I mean, this is the deal. I have big hands, and I can't even send dick pics because I need two photos side by side. It's like a panorama, and they just don't make that for iPhone. So, Michael, I'm sorry.
Well, don't they actually have those new flip
You
phones?
just
you
pull
can
it
use for
out right
Galaxy?
now.
I can't. It'll just be like, oh, boom.
Oh, okay.
I'll break the switchboard here. We already have enough time with the hardware.
Well, that probably explains why you didn't get much up in here, because it sucks up all the blood down there.
I'll take this as a compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, but just to kind of reset things, we've already had the RNC. We now had the DNC.
Right. So what's next?
Well,
Well, the next is debate.
That's when it's going to be fun.
But I mean, the one thing that you can say on the Democratic side is, it's only been 4 weeks
35 days.
since Biden got out.
35 days.
Okay, 35 days. That's a little over 5 weeks then. Less than 5 weeks.
4.5.
God, shut the fuck up.
Well, 36 would be 5, 6. So.
But what I'm saying is that what's happening now than what it would have been 37 days ago.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's
let's
a
not
whole
look
different.
back. Let's not look back.
Well, no, but just like
You're going to dissect, with
I'm
Biden on the ticket.
I'm just going to say it is so much different now.
It's night and
where
day.
Everybody,
It's night and day.
Democrats feel like they can win now, and they've got the momentum.
No, I think Democrats feel they have a chance.
And it's like that convention was amazing.
Okay, we just got started, though, my guy.
I know.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing about it. The momentum that's actually picked up on her. I mean, it's gone full steam. Now we actually talk about, she had the bump. Did she have the convention bump before the convention? And is she going to get an additional couple of points coming out of the convention? The poll that came out today has her leading by 7 points. That is definitely more than Biden ever had. Let's be honest. I mean, he was usually down 3 or 4 points from him. So, bottom line is Trump was going into the election thinking that he had it made and he was sailing through.
Yeah.
And he really didn't need to do much campaigning because Biden was going to gun and screw himself.
Kara, how do you feel about a woman president?
How do I feel about a woman president?
What do you think about
What
it?
do you think about it? Yeah.
She probably can't fuck it up any more than a man.
Oh, no, men can fuck it up big time. Men can just fuck it up all the time. Trust me.
Well, they do.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She can't do a worse job.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of the predicaments that we are in this country is because of men.
Absolutely.
It's that simple.
But to go back to my point now,
And you know what the worst thing is?
never get a word
There
in
are
edge.
more
love you.
women in the population than men, and yet we still fuck it up. I mean, it's about time a woman took over.
Men don't listen.
They do not.
Just saying.
No.
And
I feel the time.
women don't know how to
Be careful.
they don't know how to organize.
I just don't want to lose any viewers, Michael.
Well, turn it back on.
Any
It's like
female viewers.
they just don't know how to organize together.
What he meant was some of
Well,
them, not all
No,
of
because
them.
they I mean they don't.
I think that you actually have a.
They might start now, but it's like no.
I think you have a valid point based upon historical perspective. Absolutely. You look
This
at
could be different this year.
You look at how many females and again I've got some stats if I wanted to pull them up specific on demographics on how many more women are actually joining the campaign or more enthusiastic about Kamala's actual campaign versus what is Hillary. Hillary obviously carried a lot of baggage in 2016 from 40 plus years, and she had
She's crazy.
She had a female problem, meaning females
crazy.
would not follow her
Because she's nuts.
Well, she's not. She's actually not. And I mean, and we can put that to rest just simply because I don't
So
think
here's a funny joke. You
I will
ready?
never ever convince you differently.
Here's a funny joke, though. Somebody who said that. They said,
Would you rather have had her versus Trump?
No, they said, hold on, let me use this. They go, Forbes has a list of the top 50 quarterbacks in the country, but yet there's only 2 candidates that could potentially be president of the United States. What's up with that? There's got to be some asshole in Iowa that can run this country better than anyone, and we just haven't met him yet.
I sent you a TikTok on women, and it's like this about the building, which you could go to each floor, but you could never go down or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like typically the women wants more, and then ultimately they get to the top, and I forgot what the punch.
Well,
was.
there's a and just to kind of like play
But
off,
it was
there's
classic.
actually a horror movie about. There's actually a horror movie that does the same premise, but is based upon somebody who's actually jailed and kind of going up to different floors, and you can eat this, you can't eat that. I mean, I mean, I know where you're going for, but
But it was basically it's like first floor, you're going to meet a man. Then the second floor is you meet a man that does housework or whatever.
I'm gonna say
then you
this,
meet
though.
a great looking man that will do housework. And then it's like each step was one step more. And it's like the woman, you could stop at any floor, but you could not go back down. And then it's like you get to the top and you got this perfect guy. He's great in bed. He's going to do housework. He's going to do all this other stuff. And everything else is to be like the perfect guy. But then you still have one more layer level. And then and they say as well, then the woman decides to take that extra level. And then basically it's like there's no more men. You just found out you can't. There's nothing that can please you or whatever. What was the?
I don't remember that. But to be honest with you, though, I mean, that in itself is a misogynistic type TikTok. You know, I mean, and that's the whole point about it. To your point, what you're sitting here saying that, you know, women don't know how to work together. It's because men have beat women down for so long.
Get it.
You know, and the bottom line is, again, the reason women don't work together or haven't is because men fucked it up.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Well, I'm like I said, offline. I said it offline. I'm willing to give Kamala a shot. Why not?
Well, I mean, it is definitely a picture perfect. I would say candidacy between her and Walz.
Right.
I mean, he is a good old boy from Minnesota or Nebraska, whatever you may say. You know, from a farmer's 24 years in the garden, all that. So I mean, he's a great candidate.
Right.
You know, which they'll do everything they possibly can to take him down, but. Anyhow, folks, we got more to talk about, obviously, on this, and we will continue to do that. But thanks for joining us on this
We've got
episode.
an election going on now.
Yep. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Buddies, Booze, Banters, Unfiltered Conversations. I'm Rick.
Michael.
I'm Alex.
And
Are you here? Are you here today?
I am.
I need another drink. Where's the bartender in this place? Mind your own damn business.
Mind your damn
Why
business.
didn't you get me a shirt? I would have wore the underwear.
I'm the one who got him.
got it. I did.
I wouldn't sell you and send you money.
No, I'm gonna work on some different ones besides that one. I like that saying, but there's some other sayings, slang
All right. Well,
things.
next time you order something like that, give me one too. I'll give you money. What was
There's
it?
some good
$12?
ones. There's some new taglines out there that have been great for 'em.
Nice. All right. We'll see everybody on the next episode. Thank you.
Bye-bye.